All right, everyone, welcome. We have a video today. I have a video for you guys today that I think you're gonna enjoy. It's about self-respect. Self-respect is incredibly important. Another way to say self-respect is self-esteem, right? It's all the same thing. It all overlaps. It's super important. It has an effect on everything you do in life. All of your interactions with everyone, friends, family, business partners, potential clients, everyone. So it's important that your self-worth and your self-respect and your self-esteem is on point. So I got 3 pointers for you guys, 3 tips, and I'll explain them. I'll give you guys some examples, but I think it's important. So here we go. So we're gonna start off with the first one. Number 1 is having a morning routine. And I don't just mean any morning routine. I'm talking about something that empowers you, something that makes you feel good about you. So I'll give you guys an example of what I'm talking about, right? So my morning routine consists of waking up at 3 in the morning, about 3:10 in the morning, and then going to the gym, by 4:15. Prior to that, one of the things I do, right, is I shave my head every single day. No exceptions. I'm not, trying to look like, scraggly or scruffy. I mean, I'm trying to look my best, right? So every single day, every single morning, I shave my head. Sometimes, I look at it and it doesn't look like I really need it, but it doesn't matter. But also important to that example is going to the gym, right? So even no matter what you look like, what stage you're in, right? You could be 100 pounds overweight or be in tip-top shape, like go to the gym, right? Also, within that same first point is make sure you include something in your morning routine that's tough to do, something difficult. So in my morning routine, waking up at 3 in the morning is already difficult, right? Going to the gym at 4 in the morning is already difficult. But just to spice it up even further, one of the things I do is I take a cold shower first thing in the morning, and I don't gradually get into it. Water, I turn on the water, it's cold, ice cold, and I just go into it right immediately like that. But do something that's difficult, because if you're able to do something in the morning as part of your morning routine, something that's difficult every single morning, it sets you up. It makes you feel better about you, about life, about everything. And of course, for those of you guys who have done some research on morning routines, I mean, not morning routines, but on cold showers, you know that there's a lot to it. Cold showers are good for you. So, but do whatever makes you feel good, right? You don't have to do exactly what I just explained to you guys. You can create your own morning routine, but be intentional. Think about it, right? Plan it out. Listen to some people, right? And get some ideas. 3 in the morning might not work for you. Your thing might be waking up at 5 or 6, but maybe there's something else you can include in there. Maybe it's reading a page out of a book every day, a book that you enjoy. Just one page, which is, by the way, something also I also do. So, but it's important to have a powerful morning routine. You'll respect yourself more for it. Number 2 is do what you say you're going to do. So in our society, it's very common, and it's always been like that, right? It really doesn't matter what society we're looking at, but it's very common for people to tell somebody, hey, I'll have something done by such and such date. And then something happens. Any number of things could happen, right? Whether they, something personal that could be small, like, hey, I got sick, I got a cold, I got a runny nose, don't feel, 100%. And then they call that person and they cancel, right? Or it could be something a little more dramatic, like they had something significant happen in their family, or they had a car accident, or any number of things, right? As much as possible, and I realize there's times when there's no way around it, right? You just have to cancel an appointment, or you have to cancel a deadline that you set, with someone else, and kind of reschedule that deadline. But as much as possible, be true to your word. It makes a huge difference. And it's not just about the other person. Obviously, it makes a difference with the other person, right? You keep flaking on people and not meeting your deadlines and meeting your commitments and doing what you said you're going to do. If you keep doing that, people are not going to want to do business with you. But in addition to that, it has an effect on you. And you don't realize it. Most people don't really think about it that way. They think it's all about the other person. So as long as the other person said, yeah, don't worry about it, I understand, you got into a car accident, don't worry about it. Let's meet tomorrow, right? Or the next day, or next week, or whatever. And you feel good, right? It's superficially, right? Consciously, you think, oh, I'm good, right? They totally understood. But what you don't understand is your subconscious is paying attention. And you keep doing that over and over and over, and you start building a pattern. And it affects your self-esteem, your perception of yourself, your self-worth, your respect for yourself, right? Because every time you commit to something and you come through, like, guess who's paying attention? Your subconscious is paying attention, and it's building up that muscle inside you that says, hey, I do what I'm going to say. I do what I say I'm going to do. I fulfill my commitments. So it's important that you develop that habit, right? You develop that ethic, that skill, that trait in your personality, right? Character trait. Incredibly important, not just for other people, but also for yourself. Number 3 is draw a line. You're thinking, what do you mean draw a line? What I mean by that is you have to learn to respect yourself, right? And part of that is knowing when to, if you have relationships that are toxic, people that maybe put you down, make disparaging jokes about you, you have to be able to cut those relationships. And if there's no way to cut that relationship, or if you're not ready to cut that relationship, then you got to be able to have the fortitude and the courage to call that person off to the side. Pick the right time, right? Be strategic about it, be smart about it. Call them off to the side and talk to them. Go, hey, what did you mean when you said that? Were you trying to be disrespectful? I mean, and by the way, you don't have to necessarily lead with that. You could lead with, hey, you made that remark. What did you mean by that? That'd probably be a softer approach. And depending on the situation, you might have to come at it with a little more aggression, right? A little more assertiveness. And actually ask them, hey, look, that was disrespectful. Is that what you were trying to do? Was that your objective? And the reason that's important is because, again, guess who's paying attention, right? And if somebody's putting you down or somebody's making a disparaging joke about you and you just take it, it's almost like you're accepting it, right? It's almost like they're casting a spell on you, right? They're not a spell, but like almost like a, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like they're saying, hey, look, just to give you an example. So if they're saying, hey, you're not very bright, you're not very smart, or you're not really competent, or you're not, it could be any number of things, right? And you allow that, you let that slide. What it does is, like I said, your subconscious, because you didn't challenge it, right? It bothered you, but you didn't challenge it. You didn't actually do something about it. What happens is your subconscious starts to accept that. They go, well, maybe I'm not that bright. Maybe I'm not that competent. Maybe that person is right, and I'm this or I'm that or whatever, right? So you have to, and it's not easy. I understand that. In our society, we're kind of socialized to be less confrontational and less aggressive, and that's a good thing. But I think that there's times, and then when you have to like break that shell. You have to break that rule. You have to come out and you have to like let that person know that that's not something you're going to accept. And it's important. It really has a huge impact. I know for me personally, it's been huge, right? It's been huge. To give you guys an example, I was at an event and somebody made a remark, and I let it go, right? And I'm not going into all the details, but I was at this event and somebody made a remark and let it go, because like I said, you can't go and be confrontational with everyone, right? For every little thing. Like, that's not what I'm suggesting. However, that person again decided to make another disparaging remark. And at that point, I waited for the right time, waited for the right timing, and I pulled them off to the side and go, hey, can I talk to you? And I confronted them. I go, hey, so this and this happened, and then you said this, and I explained to them. I said, decided to let it go, but then you brought it up again, and here you are making that remark again. Talk to me. What's going on? You know what I mean? Were you trying to disrespect me? And by the way, in that situation, because of the level of disrespect, right, the second time, I was a little more confrontational. And I think it's important because, like I said, it's somebody, that little person inside you is paying attention, and you can't just let things go. Sometimes, like I said, you can let things go the first time, maybe even the second time, right? But at some point, and you can't let it go too far. You have to confront people. Anyways, so let's recap real quick. So we're talking about self-respect, which is the same thing as self-esteem, self-worth, and it's important because it affects everything in life. Everything you do in life is affected by that. So, and the 3 tips that I got for you guys today is, number 1 is have a powerful morning routine, right? That empowers you. Include in there a workout. It's important, or a walk, right? A brisk walk. Go out for a jog. Do something that's difficult every single morning. So it's important, and it's important that you're intentional and actually plan out your mornings and have a checklist of things that you want to get done first thing in the morning. And the more difficult, whatever it is you put in that list, the more difficult, the better it sets you up for the rest of the day. Second one, do what you say you're going to do. It's easy, right, to come up with excuses. And not everybody does it, but a lot of people do it, right? A lot of people do this. Don't fall victim to that. Don't rely on that. Even if you can come up with a good excuse, do what you say you're going to do. It makes a big difference. The way that people perceive your character and the way you perceive yourself. subconsciously. And number 3 is draw a line, meaning don't let people disrespect you willy-nilly. Like, you, at some point you have to go, hey, that's enough. You know what I mean? I like jokes too, but you've gone too far. Let's talk about this. What's going on? Have I disrespected you? Have I done something to offend you? Is that why you're taking shots at me? Right? Whatever it is, but confront it. Don't just let it go. It'll make a big difference. And not just in the relationship, but inside. And that's what we're talking about. Inside, being strong inside, being congruent, being aligned, feeling good about you. So those are my 3 tips for improving your self-esteem. I hope that was helpful, and look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Take care and see you guys soon.